When the path feels longest, when the night seems darkest, you are often standing at the very edge of your breakthrough. Life sometimes tests your courage right before the victory appears, as though asking if you are truly ready to hold what you have been asking for. The unseen forces are already moving in your favor, preparing the way, clearing the obstacles, aligning the right people, and placing every step perfectly. What seems like delay is often perfect timing. What feels like silence is often divine orchestration. Each moment you choose to keep going, you affirm your faith that something beautiful is waiting for you. Each step you take becomes an invisible bridge that carries you closer to the life you have been picturing in your heart. This is not the moment to turn back, to doubt, or to surrender to fear. This is the moment to plant your feet, breathe deeply, and say within yourself, I trust that all is well and that what belongs to me is on its way. You have walked too far to let discouragement rob you now. You have broken too many barriers to allow doubt to pull you back. The energy you have already invested is the proof that something magnificent is near. The vision would not live in you if it were not meant for you. The desire would not burn in your heart if the way were not prepared. The finish line is not always visible, but it is always there. What you seek is seeking you. What you are holding in your mind is also reaching out to you. Keep going, and let your faith be bigger than your fear. This last stretch might feel the hardest, but it is also the most powerful. For it is here that you are being shaped into the person who can hold the blessing fully when it arrives. So, keep taking the next step. Keep affirming what you know is yours. Keep trusting that what is unseen is more real than what you see right now. Your breakthrough is nearer than you think. Please keep going. You are so very close. When the night seems longest and the wait feels unbearable, you must remember that you are standing on sacred ground, the place just before the dawn. Many give up too soon, not realizing that what appears to be the final struggle is the very moment when everything is aligning. The appearance of chaos is often the clearing of the old to make space for the new. When the pressure intensifies, when you feel like there is nothing left to hold on to, that is when you must stand still in faith. It is always darkest before the light breaks through. Life often asks for your trust at the very moment when your senses tell you it is hopeless. It tests whether you will believe in what is unseen when all that is seen tells you to quit. You are being called to go deeper, to root yourself in the knowing that something greater is at work, even when the evidence is not yet visible. This is the moment to speak words of victory, to imagine the outcome already complete, and to refuse to bow to fear. The darkest moment can feel like a wall, but it is not a wall, it is a veil. It is the thin curtain between what is and what is about to be. When you feel squeezed, when you feel pressed, it is like the seed breaking open in the soil. To the seed, that moment feels like destruction, but it is actually the beginning of life. You, too, are being stretched beyond the old limits, prepared for the larger life you have been calling to yourself. The human tendency is to panic, to think that something has gone wrong, to believe that we are off course. But in truth, this moment is a sign that you are closer than ever. The pain you feel is often the last residue of resistance leaving your system. The fear rising up is the final barrier being faced and dissolved. It is here that many turn back, deciding the journey is too much. But those who hold steady, who keep walking by faith, are the ones who see the miracle appear seemingly out of nowhere. Your mind may tell you there is no way forward, that the door is shut, that the answer is delayed forever. But the truth is that the door is opening, even now, and the answer is making its way toward you. This is the time to guard your thoughts carefully, to refuse to give power to images of defeat, and to see instead the vision of success. Every time you choose to believe, every time you choose to speak of the outcome as certain, you send out a signal that draws the good closer. The darkest hour is not meant to break you but to build you. It asks you to release control, to let go of the old way of thinking, and to step into a higher trust. It purifies your intentions and strengthens your faith. It burns away doubt so that when your good appears, you can hold it with joy and certainty, knowing it was always yours. The darkness is temporary, but what it prepares you for is lasting. Think of all the moments in nature when darkness precedes transformation. The night must come before the sunrise. The womb must hold the child in hidden stillness before birth. The caterpillar must enter the cocoon, shrouded in darkness, before it can emerge as the butterfly. You too are in a stage of transformation. What seems like an ending is often a beginning wearing a disguise. So when you find yourself in that place where everything looks dim, and you cannot see the next step, Remind yourself that this is a sacred moment. Breathe deeply and allow the process to continue. Know that forces you cannot see are working in your favor, arranging people, places, and events. Trust that your breakthrough is not somewhere far away but very near, waiting for your unwavering faith to bring it into sight. This is the hour to keep standing, to keep moving forward in confidence. Refuse to be moved by appearances. Speak only of the good you expect. Affirm that everything is working out for you. The light is already on its way, and soon you will see why this moment was necessary. The darkest moment was not a punishment, it was the preparation for the life you asked for. Life is always listening, always responding, always shaping itself to match the pictures you hold in your mind and the words you speak with your heart. The invisible currents of existence are like a mirror, reflecting back to you what you believe to be true. When you hold thoughts of hope, the path opens to meet that hope. When you trust that all things are working together for your good, even obstacles become stepping stones. Faith is the blueprint, the silent architect that draws the form of your experience before it becomes visible. Every great change begins in the unseen. Before anything can appear in the physical world, it must first take root in thought, in belief, in expectation. Your faith is the seed that life cannot resist. It takes the shape you impress upon it, growing and unfolding until it manifests in perfect timing. When you doubt, the seed is pulled from the soil. When you believe, it grows stronger each day until the harvest is ready. The secret is to water it daily with trust, to speak words of certainty rather than fear, and to imagine it as already complete. Faith is not blind. It is vision beyond what the eyes can see. It is the quiet knowing that the answer is already present, that the supply is already given, that the way is already prepared. When you walk in this knowing, life rushes to meet you at the level of your trust. Doors open that once seemed locked, people appear at just the right moment, and opportunities line up as though by magic. Yet it is not magic. It is the law of alignment responding to your inner stance. Every time you choose to believe in good rather than fear, you shift your entire atmosphere. You set a vibration that draws to you those experiences that match your expectation. When you focus on lack, life mirrors lack. When you focus on abundance, life arranges itself to prove you right. The choice is always yours. To hold faith in the best or to entertain fear of the worst. Whichever you choose, life will confirm it. It is not enough to simply wish or hope. Faith must be lived. It must be spoken aloud, acted upon, embodied in the smallest decisions of your day. When you trust that what you desire is already moving toward you, you speak with confidence, you move with courage, you take inspired action. This is how faith aligns life. Through your willingness to live as though the outcome were already here. When everything around you seems contrary to your desire, that is the moment when faith becomes most powerful. To believe in the unseen while the seen says otherwise is the highest act of alignment. You are saying to life, I trust you to deliver what is mine. I refuse to be moved by appearances. And life, which is always obedient to the strongest conviction, rearranges itself to match your inner declaration. There are no wasted moments when you live in faith. Even delays become part of the plan, shaping you into the person who can receive the fulfillment of your desire without fear or doubt. Faith does not struggle or beg, it rests in assurance, knowing that what is planted must grow. The timing may not always match the clock you hold in your hand, but it will always be perfect. The answer will not be late, it will arrive when it can do the most good. This is why it is so important to guard your thoughts carefully, and to speak words that agree with your desired outcome. Every word is a command, every thought a prayer. When you choose words of gratitude, words of trust, words of expectation, you are shaping the invisible substance of life. And just as surely as the sun rises, those words return to you as experiences that match their vibration. Faith does not mean ignoring reality, it means creating a higher reality. It lifts you out of fear and places you in harmony with what you truly want. It clears the path ahead, dissolves obstacles, and guides you step by step. When you walk in faith, you begin to see signs, synchronicities, little confirmations that you are on the right path. These are not coincidences but reminders that life is aligning with your belief. So, continue to choose trust over doubt. Continue to speak as though the good you desire is already yours. Continue to act in ways that agree with your vision. Life cannot help but respond, for it is always obedient to the faith you carry. And when you least expect it, the results will unfold before your eyes, as natural as breathing, as certain as sunrise, proving that life always aligns with the faith you dare to hold. Every longing that stirs within you carries its own map, its own way of fulfillment, its own divine permission to exist. A true desire is not random, it is a seed planted in your heart by the unseen, a signal of what is possible for you. If it were not possible, it would not live in you with such intensity. Your longing is the whisper of life saying, "This is meant for you. Come this way." You do not need to chase what you desire, for what you seek is also seeking you. It is drawn to you as surely as a river finds the sea. So often, people dismiss their deepest desires as too big, too impractical, or too far away. They talk themselves out of their dreams before they ever begin. But the truth is that the very fact you can imagine something is the evidence that it exists on some level, waiting for you to claim it. The image in your mind is a preview of what is already prepared in the unseen. To deny your desire is to deny a part of your own path. Desire is not something to be feared or suppressed, it is the compass that points you toward your highest expression. It awakens your creativity, your courage, your willingness to grow. It calls you to step beyond what is familiar and reach toward what is greater. When you honor the desire within you, you say yes to life. You allow yourself to be guided by something wiser than logic, something deeper than reason. The quiet knowing of the soul. When you feel the stirring of a new dream, that is the moment to trust that provision is already on its way. Every resource, every idea, every connection is already aligned. You are not left to figure out every detail by yourself. Your part is to stay faithful to the vision, to nourish it with belief, to speak of it as though it were already here. Life responds to your conviction. The stronger your faith, the more quickly the way opens before you. There is no need to struggle or strive. The seed does not force itself to grow. It simply rests in the soil, allowing the unseen intelligence to do the work. In the same way, you can rest in the knowing that what is meant for you cannot be taken from you. Desire is never placed in vain. It is not a trick or a cruel joke. It is the promise of fulfillment hidden inside your heart like a pearl waiting to be discovered. At times, you may feel unworthy of what you desire. You may think that it is too much to ask, that it is for someone else, someone luckier, stronger, or more deserving. But the truth is that you would not even dream of it, if it were not already yours in some dimension. The longing itself is the invitation, the proof that life is ready to express that good through you. Worthiness is not something you earn, it is something you accept. There may be delays, there may be detours, but they do not mean the dream is denied. They mean you are being shaped to hold the blessing when it arrives. Desire stretches you, pulls you higher, asks you to become more than you were before. It transforms you as much as it transforms your life. And when the moment comes, when what you have been holding in faith appears in your hands, you will see that every step was necessary. Desire is also your protection against settling for less than what is rightfully yours. It keeps you reaching, growing, seeking the fuller life that has always been your inheritance. When you ignore it, you may feel restless, dissatisfied, disconnected. That is because desire is not meant to be ignored. It is meant to be honored, nurtured, brought into form. You are allowed to want what you want. You are allowed to picture it, to talk about it, to expect it. The dream within you is a sacred thing. When you treat it with reverence and gratitude, it begins to take shape faster than you imagined. Life moves to meet you halfway. It rearranges circumstances, introduces you to the right people, removes what no longer serves you. What you thought was impossible becomes inevitable. So let your desire live. Do not push it down or explain it away. Do not let fear convince you it is too late or too far gone. Instead, speak to it with confidence. Thank life for giving you the vision. See yourself already living it, already enjoying it, already sharing it. Your desire is not a burden, it is a gift, and the very fact that it burns in your heart is the proof that it is possible, that it belongs to you, that it is already on its way. When the thing you have been praying for, affirming, and holding in your heart seems slow to appear, it is easy to think that something has gone wrong. The mind rushes to judgment and whispers that maybe it will never come, maybe it was not meant for you. But delay is never denial. Delay is the quiet hand of timing arranging everything for the highest good. It is the unseen perfection of the process, placing each detail in its proper place so that when your answer arrives, it is flawless and complete. Life does not withhold what is yours. What you have asked for is already given, already forming, already finding its way to you. The seeming pause is not punishment, it is preparation. It gives you time to grow into the person who can hold the blessing fully. It clears away what would interfere with the good you are seeking. It shapes your character, strengthens your faith, deepens your patience, and refines your intention so that when the moment of fulfillment comes, you are ready to receive it with open hands and a grateful heart. Think of the seasons. No farmer plants a seed today and expects a harvest tomorrow. There is a natural order to growth. The soil must be warmed, the roots must stretch deep, the rains must fall. The sun must rise and set many times before the fruit is ready. To dig up the seed in impatience would ruin the process. So it is with your own life. Your prayer, your affirmation, your vision is the seed. The waiting is the growing season. Delay is also a gift of protection. Sometimes what you desire cannot come to you immediately, because other things must be moved out of the way first. The wrong door must close so the right one can open. The wrong person must leave so the right person can enter. The wrong path must be revealed as empty so you will choose the higher road. What looks like a setback is often the redirection that saves you from harm. Impatience creates worry, and worry clouds the vision. It tells life that you do not believe the answer will come, and so it slows the process further. Patience, however, is faith in action. It declares, I trust that all is well. I trust that everything is unfolding at the right time. And life, always obedient to the vibration you send, hurries to match your trust with visible results. Delay teaches surrender. It invites you to release control and stop forcing outcomes. When you stop trying to make everything happen on your schedule, you allow the unseen to work its magic. The timing is always wiser than your plan, because it sees farther than you can see. It knows the hidden connections, the future consequences, the perfect sequence of events. Trusting that timing frees you from strain and allows you to enjoy the journey while the answer takes shape. Many blessings have been lost simply because they were rushed. A premature answer can be more harmful than no answer at all. But when the time is right, the manifestation feels effortless. It arrives without struggle, without forcing, without confusion. It fits so perfectly that you cannot help but marvel at the way it all came together. You see clearly why the waiting was necessary and why the delay was actually part of the miracle. The next time you feel impatient, speak to your heart and remind yourself that nothing good is ever withheld. The pause is not a void but a space of preparation. Use this time to strengthen your faith, to affirm your good daily, to release any fear or doubt that still lingers. See this time not as wasted but as sacred. A time of gestation where the unseen is busy arranging your blessing. There is beauty even in the waiting if you choose to see it. This is the time to practice gratitude for what you already have, to enjoy the present moment, to prepare for what is to come. The energy you hold during the waiting becomes the energy that greets the fulfillment when it arrives. Hold joy now, and joy will multiply later. Hold trust now, and trust will bring a smooth and perfect unfolding. Remember, the universe does not understand. Too late. There is no clock that runs out on your dream. What is meant for you cannot miss you. What has been promised cannot be taken away. You are not being punished by the delay. You are being positioned. And when the moment is right, the answer will appear suddenly, as though it had been waiting just around the corner all along. The final stretch is the moment that tests you the most. It is where the old world and the new world seem to collide, where the evidence appears to contradict the promise, where you are asked to hold steady though every part of you wants to turn back. It is the moment when the dream is closest, and yet the pressure feels the greatest. This is not a sign to quit. It is the sign that you are almost there. Courage becomes the bridge that carries you across the last gap. Without it, you risk stopping inches from the finish line, never seeing the full beauty of what you were moving toward. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act in spite of it. The final stretch often feels like walking in the dark, with only a small lamp to guide you. You may not see the whole road ahead, but you are given just enough light to take the next step. That step is the test. Will you trust the unseen, or will you wait for perfect clarity before you move? The truth is that perfect clarity rarely comes before action. Courage brings the clarity. Each step forward reveals the next one, and little by little, the path becomes clear. In the last stretch, resistance often rises like a wave. Old doubts return, old fears speak loudly, and challenges seem to appear out of nowhere. This is the mind's way of asking, are you sure you want this? Are you sure you are ready? It is also life's way of strengthening you, making sure you are steady enough to hold what is coming. You are not being punished by the challenge. You are being prepared. The pressure is shaping you into the person who can carry the weight of the blessing without being crushed by it. Courage is what keeps you from abandoning the journey when the end is near. It reminds you why you started, why you have kept going this long, why you cannot turn back now. It is the fire in the heart that says, I will not let fear decide my future. I will not let doubt steal what is mine. The ones who find the courage to endure this final stretch are the ones who step into the miracle, sometimes overnight, as though the reward had been waiting behind a thin curtain all along. This moment requires a deeper kind of faith, not just belief in the dream, but belief in yourself, belief in your ability to face the unknown and move forward anyway. Courage is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet and steady, the choice to get up one more time, to take one more step, to hold the vision one more day. These seemingly small acts of persistence are what tip the balance, what bring the unseen into view. You must understand that fear cannot create the life you desire. Only faith can, and faith becomes strongest when tested. When you are tired, when you feel you cannot go any farther, courage whispers that you have more strength than you know. It reminds you that this is the exact place where most people give up. But you are not most people. You were given this vision for a reason, and you were given the power to see it through. Courage in the final stretch also means releasing what no longer serves you. Sometimes you must let go of the old belief, the old habit, the old identity that cannot come with you into the new life you are creating. This can feel uncomfortable, even painful, but it is necessary. Courage allows you to loosen your grip on the past, so that you can receive what is ahead. You cannot step fully into the new while clinging to the old. You may feel as though you are walking through fire, but remember that fire does not destroy gold. It refines it. You are being refined in this stretch, polished, strengthened, purified. When you come out on the other side, you will not only have what you asked for, but you will have become someone stronger, wiser, and freer. The courage you summon now will stay with you for the rest of your life, reminding you that you can face anything and still move forward. So, hold on a little longer. Keep breathing, keep believing, keep moving. Even when your steps feel small, even when progress feels slow, keep going. The final stretch is always the hardest, but it is also the most meaningful. The breakthrough is so close you can almost feel it. Courage is the key that unlocks the last door. Take that key and keep walking forward. Faith is the unseen bridge that carries you from where you are to where you are meant to be. It is the invisible path beneath your feet, steady and sure, even when you cannot see what lies ahead. Faith is not merely wishing or hoping. It is knowing. It is the quiet certainty that the goal you hold in your heart already exists, that it is already prepared, that it is already yours. When you choose faith, you choose to walk across the invisible bridge as though it were solid ground. And in doing so, you call the unseen into form. The mind is often tempted to wait for visible proof before it believes. It wants signs, guarantees, and perfect clarity. But the bridge of faith does not appear fully formed before you step. It is built as you move forward. Each thought of trust lays a plank. Each word of affirmation strengthens the structure. Each act of courage adds another stone. And step by step, the way is revealed, and what once seemed impossible becomes possible. Faith is creative. It molds the formless energy of life into the picture you hold. When you speak words of belief, when you see yourself already living your dream, when you refuse to entertain fear, you are shaping the bridge that carries your desire from the unseen realm to the visible world. Doubt breaks the bridge. Fear delays the crossing. But faith holds it steady and invites the goal to meet you halfway. Many stand at the edge of their vision and say, I will believe when I see. But the truth is that you will see when you believe. Faith is the cause, and seeing is the effect. Life mirrors your conviction, not your hesitation. When you dare to walk across the bridge with confidence, even while the way looks empty, life rushes to fill in the path beneath your feet. The goal becomes inevitable because you have aligned with it so completely. Faith also dissolves obstacles. Where there seems to be no way, faith creates a way. It opens doors you never noticed before. It turns strangers into helpers and problems into stepping stones. Faith does not ignore reality, but it refuses to be limited by it. It sees beyond appearances and calls forth a higher order. It says, I know this situation has a solution. I know this challenge is already resolved. I know this dream is already mine. And life cannot resist responding to that certainty. The bridge of faith is built in the mind first. You must picture the goal clearly, as though it were already accomplished. You must speak of it with gratitude, not as something far away but as something present. Gratitude is the language of faith, the proof that you already accept what you have asked for. When you give thanks before you see the result, You are affirming that you trust the bridge will carry you all the way to the other side. Sometimes the bridge feels long. You may walk for a while and see no sign of progress. You may wonder if you are on the right path. But the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. The bridge is still there, and each step is still bringing you closer. It is in these moments that faith becomes strongest, for you are learning to trust the unseen more than what your eyes tell you. When you finally reach the other side and see your goal made real, you will realize that faith was the true work all along. The goal could not have appeared without it. The bridge was not just a path. It was the transformation of your own heart and mind. You became the kind of person who could receive what you asked for, who could hold it with joy, who could live it fully. Faith not only carries you to the goal, but also makes you equal to the goal. So keep building the bridge with your words, your thoughts, your actions. Each time you choose trust over fear, you lay another strong stone. Each time you act as though the goal is certain, you strengthen the bridge beneath you. And step by step, you will arrive at the place you have been dreaming of, not because you forced it, but because you believed your way there. Faith is the power that connects you to your destiny, the bridge that never fails, the path that cannot collapse beneath the feet of one who walks in trust. So stand tall now, for you are nearer than you think. The road you have walked has not been in vain. Every challenge has carved strength into your spirit. Every tear has watered the soil of your miracle. And every step has brought you closer to the life you have been calling forth. You are not waiting for something distant. You are standing at the very edge of your breakthrough. Take a deep breath, lift your head, and move forward with faith. Please keep going. You are so close, and soon you will see why you never gave up.